In this video, you will learn the basic rules of rounding, as well as how you can use rounding for estimation. Let's start off by taking 34 and rounding it to the nearest tens. Now, whenever you are rounding, you are basically making a number simpler, so it's easier to work with. Now, in order for us to round 34 to the nearest tens, we first take a look at the tens place. So in this case, the tens place is 3. And we look at the number behind it, which is 4. Now, if this number behind the tens place is 1, 2, 3, or 4, then we round this number down, so it becomes rounded down to 30. Or if this number is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, then we round this up. So in this case, the number is 4, which means we round 34 down to just 30, and so 34 rounded to the nearest tens is 30. Now let's look at why we do this. So to explain, let's take a look at a number line from 30 to 40. Now 34 on this number line is placed right over here where this dot is. Now as you can see, this dot is closer to 30 than it is to 40, which is why whenever the number in the ones place is 1, 2, 3, or 4, we round to 30 because it's closer to 30. And if it's 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, then we would round up to 40. Now let's look at a much harder example. Round 3,756 to the nearest hundred. So because we are rounding to the nearest hundred, we start by looking at the hundreds digit, which in this case is 7, and we look at the digit before, just like we did with 34. Now this digit before is a 5, and as I explained before, if this digit is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, then we round up. So the 7 gets rounded up to 8. Now the rest of the numbers before 8, so the 5 and the 6, all become 0, and we're left with 3,800. Now how can we use rounding to estimate the sum of 79 plus 43? Well, in order to do this, we can first start by rounding 79. So to round 79, we look at the digit before the 7, so the 9, and because it's 9, we round this up to 80 because 79 is closer to 80 than it is to 70. Now let's take a look at 43. We look at the ones digit, which is 3, and we round it down to 40 because 3 is closer to 40. Now 80 plus 40 is equal to 120. Now when we do the addition on the left side, so 79 plus 43, 9 plus 3 is 12, so we add the carry. 7 plus 4 plus 1 is 122. So as you can see, the rounded estimate is really close to our sum, 122. Now let's do a subtraction problem. So 51 minus 28, and how would we estimate this? So to start off, 51, we look at the ones digit and we round this to 50. And then we look at 28, so we look at the ones digit, which is 8, and this becomes rounded up to 30. And so we have 50 minus 30. Now 50 minus 30 is 20. Now if we did the subtraction on the left side, so 1 minus 8, we would need to take a borrow. And then we do 11 minus 8, and that becomes 3. Then we simply do 4 minus 2, and that becomes 23. And as you can see, the difference of 23 is very close to our estimate, 20. This concludes rounding and estimation. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below, and they will be answered as soon as possible.